As you may already know by now, PJ Masks is an insane and just really bizarre show. It's made for kids and it's not that deep, so there's really no point in trying to make sense of it. Snacking Raccoon put it best when they said, "Dude, don't try to analyze PJ Masks. That is the path to darkness." Today, we're going to completely ignore that. Disclaimer, I know it's a kid's show. I know. No matter how stupid or crazy the franchise, theorists are gonna theorize. Let us have our fun! The inherent oddness of the show has led many parents and fans to make their own fan theories, and although these theories really don't make sense, they're fun to discuss, so let's get into it. Every show can be explained by saying, oh, it's just a dream, but based on the fact that these kids get 4 hours of sleep max every night, when the recommended amount for children is 9 to 12 hours, PJ Masks has actually been thought to be an insomnia-induced hallucination. I don't know about you, but I think that low-key checks out. Personally, my favorite theory is that the show is a game of pretend. I like to call this the Backyardigans theory. If you don't know, Backyardigans is a show about 6 kids who play pretend in their shared backyard. I think it's adorable to think about and a great explanation for all the wacky shenanigans that happen. One of my personal favorite theories is that Teacher knows about the PJ Masks. His voice actor doubles as the narrator, and his cluelessness or shutting down whatever event is going on when something weird happens can be interpreted as him covering for the PJ Masks when they need to investigate an issue. I mean, come on. Whenever something weird happens, he's quick to move everyone off the crime scene. There were several episodes where he was out at night yet didn't suspect a thing. Anyway, I like this theory because it's just fun and cute to think about. This theory proposes that there have been previous generations of PJ Masks. Judging by book lore, this one actually seems pretty plausible to me. If you didn't know, in the books, the PJ Masks get their powers from spirit animals who protect children from nightmares. In the show, they get their powers from the PJ Crystal. One theory proposes that the crystal evolves to include more animal totems over time, explaining the existence of heroes like Ice Cub and Armadillon. Speaking of Armadillon, there's a theory that Armadillon is a descendant of Armadretto, an ancient villain mentioned in the season 6 episode The Curse of Armadillon. One of the oldest and now debunked theories from the early days of PJ Masks was based on the fact that all the villains have blue eyes. Because Catboy also had blue eyes, some fans thought that he would become a villain. Although he technically did for an episode, so did Owlette, and at the end of the day, this is not the type of show to have a plot point like that, much less foreshadow it. Another old and pretty popular theory is that all of the villains are orphans. That's about it. I mean, come on, where are their parents? Many theorize that Luna's pale complexion, blue eyes, and silver hair are due to being albino. Others theorize that she is a daytime kid in disguise. Personally, I've always thought of her as an alien, which is another popular theory based in the fact that she has a strong connection to the moon and has never seen snow.
Huh? Hey, what's happening?
I will never shut up about this. In addition to the daytime kid theory, some theorize that Luna Girl is simply her nighttime alter ego, and her real name is Cynthia. This comes from the season 1 episode where she went by Cynthia when pretending to be Connor's aunt. There's also a theory that Night Ninja is not human. The only thing we see of him is his eyes, so he could very well be anyone underneath the mask. Some people used to headcanon that Night Ninja's secret daytime identity was Cameron. This has since been debunked because Night Ninja mentions living somewhere far away from the city. I mean, come on, they don't exactly have the same eye color or voice actor either. In the same vein, there's a theory that Lily-Faye is actually Jenny. Once again, I don't think this is true because it's just not. Lily-Faye is an alien from outer space and Jenny is just some kid from school. It's the age-old question that no one has the answer to. The Wolfie kids. Are they friends or are they siblings? Based on this clip,
I'm telling!
I'd say both. Howler is Rip's friend and Kevin is Rip's sibling. It just makes sense to me because they really have that dynamic of the little brother tagging along with the two friends. I mean, it's in the title. The world beyond, really? There's also the fact that Pharaoh Boy and Bastet are from what seems to be ancient Egypt, and Pharaoh Boy is literally a mummy. Yeah, they could be dead. In addition to this, there's a theory that Bastet and Pharaoh Boy know each other from a former life, which, if the world beyond is really an afterlife, could be possible. There's a clip where Lily-Faye mentions other universes.
What about the other universes?
This led to a popular theory that PJ Masks exists in a multiverse, which is always a fun trope to think about, especially in the superhero genre. According to a cutscene from Heroes of the Night, Anyu took down a Dragon King. Was she the hero or the villain in this situation? It's not clear. However, Anyu once mentions an inner dragon of anger and is never brought up again. This could be interpreted as an ancient curse that is using her as a vessel, or at the very least just anger issues, which adds to the theory that she was actually a villain imprisoned in the Dragon Gong for her crimes. The Dragon Gong was invented by ninjas in ancient times, and we've only seen it be used to imprison a dragon as a slave. This hints at a possible ninja-dragon feud back in the day where the Dragon Gong was specifically made to control dragons. The sorcerer who turned Monkey Goo to stone may have also been responsible for banishing Anyu to the Gong. I mean, come on, it's just uncanny that both characters were imprisoned around the same time for 1,000 years. Going off of the villain theory, Anyu doesn't seem to remember much of her past, and one theory is that this is because the Gong erased her memories. Assuming she was conscious throughout her imprisonment, being in the Gong gave her a lot of time to think, potentially leading to self-improvement from her villain days. Just some food for thought. That's all of the main popular theories I know of, but I also got some theories from you guys. Luna Girl was a child among stars but got banished. Luna Girl has mentioned not having a family nor a home one episode, and she desires to do anything to go back to the moon, meaning she's been there before. I've been saying this! Cause in Moonstruck, when she knows that the Harvest Moon is gonna let her go to the moon, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the moon and claim all my treasures. I've been saying that, why would she do that? If she wasn't already originally from the moon. She is a greedy kid, and maybe it's like the collector from the Owl House sort of thing where all she wanted was fun, but she got banished. What if the Luna Crystal / Luna Board was all the power she had left? It could explain why her hair is silver. Oh my gosh, I actually kind of like that. I love the lore that you guys come up with for Luna because Luna's my favorite and I love it so much. In the fandom wiki it states, Luna Girl is motivated by her desire to have the things she wants by any means necessary, so most of her appearances involve her stealing toys, but only for selfish and stingy reasons. So the reason she was banished could be due to the fact that she's selfish and stuff. Oh, I love this so much. Yeah, someone write a fanfic about this. I'll read it. Hi, PJ Trash. By the way, big fan. Hi. I don't know who you are because this is anonymous, but hi. The PJ Masks are in a dream and their little kid's subconscious thinks everyone goes to bed at the same time, showing why there aren't adults. Guys, wait, you're so right about that, actually. As a kid, I literally thought everyone went to bed at 8 p.m. The PJ Crystal might have came from the moon. The reason I believe this is because Matsuki's energy comes from a crystal from the moon, so this could explain where the crystal came from. Honestly, yeah. I would not be surprised if the PJ Crystal came from the moon. None of the adults are conscious at night because when the PJs transform, the color trail that gets left behind makes them unconscious. I'm sorry, that's so funny. I love thinking about the PJs transforming and then just putting everyone to sleep. It reminds me of a crack theory I made up where I was like, yeah, when they say their little into the night save the day chant and it cuts to the transformation scene, that's actually them turning the day to night. I don't have an explanation of how the villains and the other heroes aren't unconscious, but what I do know is that they need to add some security cameras in Terra Viscoville. Amen. Octabella definitely stalks Gecko's social media. What would Gecko post on social media if he had one? Let me know in the comments below. Romeo and Luna Girl could be related in some way, possibly cousins or half-siblings. This sounds more like it's in headcanon territory, and I do love their sibling dynamic. A meteor crashed on the planet a long time ago, and the pieces scattered all over the planet, and all the rocks that give those kids powers all came from that one meteor. I like this. See, now you're thinking. The whole, crystals thing and how all the powers come from crystals, that could be, from a meteor. I see you taking inspiration from heroes everywhere. I feel like the PJ Masks is a generational thing. I mean, think about it. Who gave them these bracelets in the show? Why are the villains always attacking them? Why are there villains in the first place? I think that with every kid's generation, their PJs and bracelets were given to them from their guardians. Same with the villains. It seems very plausible to me. It also explains the headquarters that no one questions because it's like the town's mascot. Yeah, I said this earlier. I've heard this theory before, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Every character in the show has autism, ADHD, etc. Honestly, yeah, we've been saying that everyone in PJ Masks is autistic or neurodivergent. It might just be projecting because I'm pretty sure most, if not all of the PJ Masks fandom is autistic or neurodivergent. But yeah, like I could go on a rant about how some of these characters definitely seem neurodivergent. Probably nobody believes this except me, but Luna is the same alien species as Lily-Fae, or at least the remains of a subset adapted to moon life. No human has silver hair at that age, and even if they did, it wouldn't be sparkly. And I doubt she wears a wig or dyes her hair because it would be impractical to do, and her parents probably wouldn't let her dye her hair at age 7 to 10. She can breathe on the moon without a helmet. There probably isn't just one of Lily's species. Also, they can both fly. Maybe the Lunarian subspecies of alien developed technology to achieve what the home planet subspecies evolved to. This is also venturing into headcanon territory, but I love it. Keep up the alien headcanons. Good work. Also saw a cool theory on Daniel Tiger Conspiracy that said the night was a pocket dimension in Terabiscoville because weird happenings are going into the night. Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that idea. Like maybe Terabiscoville is just inherently a magical place, so all of these shenanigans are just natural for that area. The spirit animals come from the multiverse since they are very powerful, and there are at least 3 in every universe. Yeah, this ties back to the multiverse theory, and honestly, that would be so cool. Also, Romeo has a crush on the ninja guy. Honestly, yeah, that's a headcanon, but I'll accept it. Flybot Sally is a zombie, or at least undead. When the Flybots shut down, they light up less. And when PJ Robot sacrificed his battery for the PJ Crystal, he glows less. Flybot 337B, her former identity's body glows as well. Now, in the present with Sally, her body doesn't glow at all, but her old self did. So I'm guessing Flybot Sally is either undead or just a puppet that Flybot 337B made. I don't know how a robot could be a zombie, but I know who you are. My theory is that the PJ Masks are part of a secret program of superheroes to be trained for an even bigger battle globally, and the villains are secretly hired by the trainers of the program to train the heroes by pretending to be villains to make the PJ Masks stronger and make them power up. Yeah, I think that's just the Guntech AU. Pharaoh Boy said he's been watching the PJ Masks for thousands of years, which means that the PJ Masks now are just the latest incarnation of superheroes with those powers, possibly the descendants from the original team of heroes. Interesting. I don't remember him saying that. I'll have to watch that episode again, but I like that idea. That adds to the theory that there's generations of PJ Masks. It's likely that the PJ Crystal Totem has always been the source of their power, but the power itself has evolved with time as the Earth improves. The totem has been shown to be semi-sentient as seen throughout the series. This could explain why, despite calling them amulets, the PJ Masks transform with their bracelets and pajamas, allowing it to be more inconspicuous among normal people. Interesting. The totem has a connection with everything it makes and may even be able to predict the future, as in Heroes of the Sky. It dropped the PJ Power Crystals that later allowed Owlette to remember her status as a superhero. Theoretically, however, the mind wiping may be a recent mechanism to keep the secrets of the crystal and the origins of the PJ Masks safe if they ever fall into the wrong hands. Oh my gosh, you're right! Oh, it's just like miraculous when they transfer ownership of the Miracle Box and the old Guardian loses their memories. The totem may also encourage them to learn and fix their mistakes themselves, as it only reacted with the destruction of the PJ vehicles by creating the PJ Riders out of their animal spirits. Oh, this is such an interesting theory. Thank you for this. This is awesome. The crystal at the park keeps the town in a sort of sleep stasis. Night in the city is night with a capital N. It's a time when those not chosen by the crystal are automatically put into a deep sleep, and can only be awakened before daylight by those/actions of those immune. Why Amaya has friend awake at a sleepover, townspeople only wake on their own with villain interference. Some people can be immune because of their own predispositions because they're from outside the town. Newton, Isaac, who's Isaac? Anyu, Night Ninja, Luna, and Romeo are from outside the city of Terabiscoville and wound up there later, making them immune. However, some of the city's inhabitants are chosen by the crystal to protect the night, the PJ Masks. Oh, this is very interesting. Unbeknownst to anyone in the show at this point, the crystal's immunity and memory of the night expires at a certain point for each generation of heroes and antagonists, causing the nighttime activity to halt entirely. Usually everyone goes back to normal lives, but with the involvement of so many many villains in places like Mystery Mountain, the Moon, the World Beyond, and Deep Space, the crystal may not have that power anymore, and this generation of heroes and villains will eventually have to face what happens when Nightfall can never be the same again. In universe, it's a story told of the generation of heroes and villains that broke the Knight's curse, or blessing, depending on your perspective and the eventual outcome. Oh man, this is kind of dark. I love it. Best of luck with your PJ Masks content. Aw, thank you. When I was like 8 or 9, I had this theory where all the villains were just normal kids in the same school as Catboy, Gecko, and Owlette. There wasn't really a reason why I believed it, I just thought I'd mention it though. Honestly, I think we all thought this when watching the show for the first time. And you wouldn't be super wrong. I mean, in the books, Romeo goes to their school, so PJ Masks' powers are actually from another universe. That would be a really cool thing to explore, especially since there's so many different universes that Lily Faye mentions. And there's different galaxies too. Oh, we have another dream theory. The entire world of PJ Masks is a dreamlike reality created by the children's subconscious minds, either because they are in a coma or trapped in a shared dream state. The world is nearly empty except for the main characters, and the city has no active adults at night, almost like a dream world that the kids have created. The villains are all based on childhood fears and frustrations. Romeo represents the fear of science and technology being uncontrollable. Luna Girl represents the mystery and loneliness of the night. Night Ninja represents schoolyard bullies and competition. Oh, this is so cool. The PJ Masks have over-the-top abilities that don't seem physically possible even for a superhero universe. The villains are never truly dangerous, and there are no serious consequences, suggesting all this is happening in a controlled, dreamlike space. They're a little dangerous. The PJ Masks were on our way transformation could represent the moment when they enter the dream state, with their pajamas symbolizing the transition into a lucid dream. That's really cool. I love all of your different takes on the same theory. Amaya, Connor, and Greg are grown up and are telling kids stories. Aw, that's really cute. Romeo showed Night Ninja how to use the flying factory sometime before PJ Sky Pirates. I've been saying the same thing about Catboy flying the Owl Glider, because in season 1 he wasn't allowed to fly the Owl Glider, but then later you see him flying it, and I love to think about Owlette teaching Catboy how to fly it. In said episode, Night Ninja and the Ninjalinos somehow know how to operate the factory's sucky sucker to vacuum clouds. As with other episodes where other villains take over the factory, we see that the other villains do not know how to operate anything in the factory. That is so funny. Oh my gosh, what if they were like teaming up together for a plan? Pharaoh Boy is shown by the Flybots in By My Pharaoh Feathers, and even then the Flybots do the work and Pharaoh Boy doesn't seem to understand how it works. We can see he's still confused by the technology in the Sun Factory. Luna Girl takes control of the factory and Moth Boy, we see she has no idea how to operate the controls either. Night Ninja also knows his way around the factory, as shown in the Disappearing Ninjas when he sneaks around to reach the factory prison cell to rescue Owlette and the Ninjalinos. Did Romeo give him a tour at some point? That is so funny! Oh my gosh, thank you for pointing that out. That is hilarious. Moon magic works based on a person's desire. The clearer the desire, the more control the person using it has. The more powerful the crystal, the easier it is to grant unclear desires. Luna Girl has very specific, usually small desires. They are often based around theft, so she gets the magic abilities provided by her crystals. Another factor may be the fact that she uses her Luna Magnet to use her magic, which makes it a bit less clear of an example, but still, basic magic for basic desires. When she wants something more specific, like for it to rain so that no one else can play outside, the magnet is able to produce clouds, as that desire is more specific. When getting a more powerful crystal, she has more control over her less specific desires. She wants a castle and she gets it, but it looks messy. Her crystals she spawns on the moon are never perfect, only vaguely going in the direction she wants. Unclear desires but better execution. When Romeo gets a hold of the moon crystal, it works against him, which I think is a showing of the fact that what it was doing was actually following his general desire to create. He is an inventor and he likes his inventions. Those that run away from him, he tries to get back. Creating is what he likes to do, so when he uses the crystal, without knowing what technology makes it easier to control. Unlike Luna, whose tech is crafted specifically for moon magic. He gets his general desire instead of what he wants in the moment. It's his subconscious desire to create, which gets Monkey's Paw solved against his conscious desire to take over the world. Whenever technology uses the magic without human input, it is always perfect and usually the most powerful. Technology is programmed to know exactly what it wants, so it makes sense that the crystal would work the easiest like that, without human input. Matsuki is a bit of an exception to the rule, as she isn't exactly using moon magic as she is moon magic, and her powers are limited, but basically basically allow her to do anything she wants. It doesn't matter how big or small or clear or unclear the desire, her direct connection to the magic makes it much easier to control. There are many things I can add, like how Luna's cosmic tantrum fits into this, but I think this explains the theory enough. Oh, I really like this theory. It's very detailed. I like what you said about how Luna uses the moon magic and Matsuki is magic, which is why she's more powerful. I love that. That makes so much sense to me. The PJ Masks' parents used to be superheroes themselves, like their moms and or dads. Oh, we're getting back into the generation theory. Or at least they know about their kids' powers and superhero status, which kind of makes sense because they don't seem to check up on their kids at night, as if Amaya, Connor, and Greg already told their parents that they had superhero duties to attend to. Oh, interesting! And in Catboy vs. Robocat, the episode where Maya and Greg got kidnapped, I noticed that there was no panic or mentions of a missing persons case or missing person flyers, as though Connor had already told Maya and Greg's parents about the situation and promised to handle it himself. You're so right, because I've always wondered about this episode and why no one flipped out that they were literally kidnapped, like, in the daytime. Once again, this show wasn't created to make a lot of sense, and it doesn't have to, but these theories are just for fun. Share your PJ Masks theories in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time.